the 7 deadly gun scenes of Hollywood.
Please disperse! Nothing to see here, please!
Most movies and TV shows have no clue about guns. From silencers to ammunition to explosion and so much more.
That's my shit!
In all fairness, acting is about entertainment and make-believe. This started about 2600 years ago in 600 BC, where a Greek stood up in an ancient Greek theater, and for the first time somebody was acting while pretending to be somebody they were not. In the movies, it started in 1893 when there was a movie where 3 guys were pretending to be blacksmiths, but they were not, they were actors. These were the first actors in movie history. Now, there's a lot of gun movies that I like, and of course, especially all the John Wick movies and John Wayne movies and so on. But when I watch them, I keep in mind this is kind of like science fiction, which is entertaining, fun, interesting, but not real. So enjoy the movie and have fun shooting. Just don't apply what you see in the movies to your own shooting. It will not be efficient and very likely unsafe. Now, one exception, again, big fan of John Wick, some of Keanu Reeves' shooting actions are awesome because Keanu Reeves actually shoots a lot and practice his shooting skills a lot. So have fun, but in the meantime, let's talk about Hollywood versus reality. Unlimited ammunition. In most movies, guns have magically unlimited amounts of ammunition. Now, to make it even worse, in real life, most people, even with fully automatic guns, will shoot in short bursts to manage ammo and also control the recoil. But in movies, it's so much more fun to just spray absolutely everything. But it doesn't really work that way. For example, this gun has a firing rate of about 600 rounds per minute, which is about 10 rounds per second. So if I take this 30 round magazine, if I shoot non-stop, it will be empty in about 3 seconds. That just doesn't work. It's even worse with this bad boy, which has a firing rate of up to about 900 rounds per minute, which is about 15 rounds per second. So, the gun belts that you see the tough guys carry across their chest and everything in the movies, that will be gone in 4 or 5 seconds. Even the pistols with magazine capacity of, let's say, about 14 rounds will keep on shooting forever and ever. And even the 6 or 8 rounds revolvers will keep on shooting again and again indefinitely. In what I would call the gold medal of stupidity, very often the hero who so far in the movie has been unarmed will find a way to dispatch a bad guy with something like a toothbrush. But then the hero will just keep going and not pick up the bad guy's guns and ammunition and just keep charging and dispatching enemy with a toothbrush or dental floss. Makes no sense whatsoever. Always huge explosions. A couple of rounds into anything and it will explode like a volcano. You shoot a couple of rounds into a car and there will be a ball of fire, the equivalent of having the car being annihilated by a 500-pound airplane bomb. Graze a few rounds into a building and it's Hiroshima all over again. Stopping bullets with a piece of paper. Yay, I'm safe.
What?
Hollywood's advice is you can hide behind a car, a wall, or even a table, and you'll be safe from any rounds. Well, sadly enough, that's not the reality. 9mm round will go through multiple layers of plywood, gypsum, or stacks of 2x4. Now, it might actually fail to penetrate a car. A carbine round, such as the 5.56, can go through 10 inches of drywall, and some ammunition can actually go through a couple of inches of steel. A big boy, such as the 338 Lapua Magnum, will go through multiple inches of steel at 600 yards and can go through concrete, brick walls, and so on. A note about bulletproof vests. First, there are different types of rating, and very few vests are rated for the higher velocity rounds such as 5.56 or 7.62, and certainly not for the really big rounds like the 338 Lapua Magnum. But even if you have a bulletproof vest that stops the round, it will still be like being kicked by a mule or a baseball bat in the chest, which sometimes can kill you just from getting your heart to stop. But in any cases, you're not getting hit and then getting up and ready to dance again within 5 seconds. That is not happening. The scary click sound. In movies, they love to show the characters locking and loading while they're about to be shot at. I mean, yeah, it sounds cool, but it's moronic because in real life, you're gonna want to make sure that your guns are loaded and ready to go before you walk into a dangerous situation. But Hollywood thinks that this is really scary. Well, it is, but you'd better do it before you walk in a place where some people are gonna shoot at you. Talking about this time the silver medal of stupidity, what's really moronic is when they pick up a pistol and they do this to show, really, I mean it, I'm ready to shoot you. This is really stupid because this is what happens in real life. Load your magazine, load the round. The hammer goes back when you put ammunition in it, when you load the gun. So if you have to pull the hammer back, that means your gun is not loaded, and it makes no sense doing that whatsoever. And if for any reason you pull the hammer back, which the hammer should already be back in a gun that's loaded, it just doesn't work. If anything, it's gonna mess you up. Completely silent suppressors. In movies, suppressors, or as Hollywood likes to call them, silencers, make your guns completely silent, almost like a fly's fart. Oops. Well, in real life, it's very different. I mean, suppressors are great. They will reduce the sound a lot, and they will also reduce the recoil, but it's still not gonna be completely silent. It's still gonna make quite a noise, well, especially depending on the caliber. The huge explosions from grenades. In movie, every time a grenade explodes, it's an enormous explosion. Well, in real life, grenades are dangerous, but they're not produce such a big explosion. There's no big ball of fire. So a grenade is not the equivalent of a cruise missile. Overwhelming chaos. In movies, everything is clear. You can hear every sound, you can see everything that is going on. It's a little bit like watching a slow motion replay in an NFL match. I mean, it's great because you can finally see exactly what happened and where all the moving parts, but it happens after the fact in slow motion. In real life, it's all about chaos, overwhelming explosion, things going on. that completely take over your senses and you can only hear or see a very limited bit at the time. You will also notice that in movies, the snipers through their scope can see and count the nose hair in a bad guy from half a mile away. In real life, it doesn't work that way. Even with great scope, your view is going to be fairly limited in scope and quality, and it's going to get worse the further out you are, even with a great scope. So yes, movies are entertaining, but they can give false impressions about guns and weapons. And it can be dangerous if you apply what you see in movies in real life. Now, some movies are much better than others. Again, John Wick movies are very unrealistic in some ways, but they have great weapon manipulations, and some movies do a good job at, for example, describing chaos, like the opening scene of Private Ryan or Clint Eastwood movies about the battles of Iwo Jima.